She texted at 7:14 p.m., working late again. Big project. I responded immediately. I know, you always give your best. But deep down, I had already noticed a change. A man senses it. The subtle shift in laughter, the hesitation in words, the way eyes avoid yours. Late nights at work no longer sounded like dedication. They sounded like excuses. I called her office out of habit. A polite receptionist answered, the kind of voice trained to soothe. Everyone left at 5. 5. I held the phone a moment, the weight of it pressing against my ear, watching the second hand crawl like a slow knife across the clock. I opened the tracking app I'd installed months ago under the guise of safety. It led to a dimly lit bar on 7th Street. I drove there deliberately, calm, collected. Anger is loud. I needed silence. The bar smelled of whiskey and betrayal. My eyes adjusted to the low light, and there she was, her head thrown back in laughter, hand resting atop another man's, the same laughter that used to echo only for me. I slid onto a stool at the bar, ordered a drink I barely touched. 20 minutes passed. Then her gaze found me. Color drained from her face. She stood, lips trembling in a forced smile. Oh, this is Mark, my co-worker. Co-worker. The word rang in my mind, sharp and hollow. We drove home in silence, the car thick with her guilty perfume, a sweetness masking what she thought she could hide. Before I could speak, she began, It's not what you think. He's going through a divorce. I was comforting him. I poured a glass of water, gripping it to anchor myself. Comforting. The word left a sour taste in my mouth. She cried as expected. Tears are a language of the guilty. I nodded, listened, kept my disbelief hidden behind calm eyes. When her explanations ran dry, I said only what felt truthful. Okay. She blinked, startled. That's it. I nodded again. That was all she needed. I kissed her forehead, told her to get some sleep. Guilt makes people heavy. Sleep is inevitable. But I stayed awake, watching the ceiling, dissecting every memory, every late meeting, every receipt that didn't belong. By dawn, I knew my plan. I wouldn't confront yet. I would confirm. I started small. Late night calls marked office, traced to an unknown number. The bar again the next evening. Her car absent. His present. Social media confirmed it. He existed, divorced, smug in photos with someone else. I memorized every detail, not out of rage, but precision. Rage clouds judgment. Precision reveals truth. She began lying more fluently, unaware that I had already learned the rhythm of her deceit. I became quieter, softer, the calmness unsettling her. 2 weeks later, she left her phone charging unattended. A message flashed. Last night was perfect. Same place Friday. I photographed it, forwarded it to myself, then deleted the thread. Friday arrived. I followed her. She dressed differently. Heels she never wore for me, lipstick carefully chosen. Across the street, I watched as she met him at the bar, seated at their usual table. I didn't enter. I didn't need to. Photos documented every touch, every glance, every stolen laugh. That night, I printed them one by one. The printer's rhythmic pulse echoed in the silence. When she returned past midnight, I was at the table. The pictures spread like a courtroom exhibit. She froze, her purse dropping to the floor. She reached for a single photo, the one where her hand rested against his cheek. I'm sorry, she whispered. The words floated uselessly in the air. I looked at her evenly, without tremor. How long? A few months. I nodded. Thank you for telling me. That was enough. I left the room. The next morning, I moved half our savings into a separate account. Quietly, I emailed the photos anonymously to her boss. By noon, she called from the office parking lot, sobbing, pleading. Tell them it's not true. I remained silent. She came home early, mascara smeared, trembling. You did this, didn't you? I stared at her like a stranger. I did nothing. And technically it was true. I had merely revealed what already existed. 2 weeks later, she left. No arguments, no drama. I helped carry the boxes to her car. She turned to speak, but I cut her off. Drive safe. The house is quiet now. Not the lonely quiet before, but the calm quiet of order restored. Sometimes I pass that bar, never entering, just watching flickering lights, remembering the night everything changed. People call heartbreak fire, loud, destructive. They're wrong. It's ice, cold, precise, and unyielding. Once it hardens, nothing escapes. Not guilt, not regret, not lies,